Hello, and welcome to the English 1 Unit 3 instructional video. I'm Sharon Graves, Secondary ELAR Curriculum Coordinator, and it's good to be with you again. Please note that Unit 3, using Informational Text Blueprint, also on the CTL website, begins in December, but it will not be assessed until January 23rd. Our learning targets for today are: I can use the standards to plan for instruction. I can use authentic current events to plan for student learning with expository text. I can plan for evidences of learning that will allow students to analyze, make inferences, and draw conclusions about expository text and provide text evidence to support understanding. The hotspots for Unit 3 are the Knowledge and Skills Statement E1.9 with Figure 19b and TEKS 8A and 9C. Looking at 1.9 in the IFD, what are the most important ideas in this Knowledge and Skills Statement? What information will the students need to know to master this standard? Are these ideas being introduced or just being developed? Where and in what context, and how are these ideas relevant to the students? Note the cognitive level, content, and context of each of the standards: 1.9, 8A, 9A, and 9C. To deeply understand your standards, you must ask yourself, what are the cognitive levels of the verbs? Content, the context. Vocabulary the students need to know. What other SCs are connected to the readiness standards? What additional resources or information will the students need to know to master the SCs? What does learning look like in expository text? What are some ways to informally and formally assess student mastery? Once the standard has been deconstructed, establish your learning target for the students. Choose a high-interest current event expository text with varying reading levels for differentiation, with varied organizational patterns and rich text, which allows for students to make deep inferences and draw conclusions. You should read and annotate the text prior to teaching the students. Create the guiding questions and establish a purpose for student reading. Students should analyze, make inferences, and draw conclusions about text in order for them to understand the big ideas, the supporting details, and the text structure, and how all those ideas are connected. They should probe each idea in the text, effectively summarize, and use the text features and structures to understand and analyze. They should generate their own and answer text-dependent questions, and always provide evidence from the text. When planning, questions to ask yourself are: does the article that I've chosen have various text structures? Can I create text-dependent questions using the article that aligns with the standards? What will the students provide as evidences of learning? What strategies will I model for students to emulate? Can the students draw a conclusion based on the text? The featured article is from News ELA. It's the website that features current expository articles across multiple content areas and at varying reading and vocabulary levels, so that students can have virtually the same article, but at different levels of readiness and reading. With the standard in mind, what different types of evidences of learning can the students provide to demonstrate their deep understanding of the expository text? These are but examples of evidences for expository text. In a moment, we will review the Socratic seminar or fishbowl discussion. The text should be read at least 3 times for a deep understanding. Before the first reading, you should frame the lesson by drawing upon background knowledge. Instill curiosity to hook the students and motivate them. Establish purposes for reading through essential questions. Teach students to set their own purposes by turning the title into a question and helping them always look for text structure. Build their vocabulary background and ensure that they annotate and record their thoughts by having a pencil in hand as they read. During reading, students should stay focused on their purposes. leave tracks of their thinking on the passage or on paper, and relate their existing knowledge to new concepts from the passage. After reading, students should reflect and summarize the main points of the passage. Record organizational patterns and purpose and their details, and then evaluate them for accuracy. Analyze and extend the text ideas by making connections with broader perspectives and concepts. They should then discuss their thoughts with a partner and write additional insights that they've gained. Then reread with new questions and new purposes to create deeper level thinking and meaning. Notice the reading strategies and that they are aligned with expository SEs. Let's look at the fishbowl or Socratic discussion strategy. The purpose of the fishbowl is to promote sharing ideas and listening to other views. It encourages critical thinking, and students take ownership of learning through the gradual release model. They have small group discussion. They model agreement and disagreement of their ideas, and then the student observers record the main points of the discussion and share their responses afterwards. Students should read and annotate the text, and then they should respond to a variety of questions. Here are samples of questions that you could use during the discussion. What is your reaction or opinion to the issue? What strikes you about this? What surprises you? What new information did you learn? Did something challenge you that you thought you already knew? What puzzles you? What questions about the reading would you ask the writer? And what is the text not telling you? As a teacher, you should select 4 to 6 students to sit in the middle of the room and participate in the discussion. The remainder of the class makes an outside or semicircle around the discussion group. Choose a group leader to start and facilitate the discussion. You may be the facilitator at the beginning, but use a gradual release so that students take control of this. Establish norms. The observer should record comments to use later during debrief. Change the groups after a set amount of time, possibly 10 to 12 minutes. All participants should be able to share their thoughts and culminate into a writing activity to reflect on their learning and make connections and transfer. This is an excerpt of a class introduction for their first Socratic seminar. Although these students are sitting on the floor, you may have students stay in their desk, whatever works best for you and your class.
You'll probably never hear in school again from this point is that you don't want to raise your hand. You want to conduct this like a conversation, that you want to learn more about the topic, right? You want to spark thoughts. You want it to invoke fear in your classmates so no one wants to talk. So you keep your hands down, throw your thing in, have a conversation, and hopefully we'll come up with some new ideas. So
What should I do for
don't worry about it. But your questions, David, you don't have to go in any particular order. You can pick your favorite one.
Wait, can I request something, David? For the one about,
Miss Kitty, for a rebuttal, do we have
the
to?
first fault and all different back.
You do. Yep. Every time you speak.
Then once you,
For the one,
Susan, when you
like,
speak
where it's
twice,
like
then you
the
go
first
out.
fault and all different back.
And then at the end, everyone will speak. And so you can talk after that. Like it's more of an open conversation. But don't forget, at first, the outer circle can't say a word. It's hard. You guys, you're taking notes, you're observing, and you're writing comments down as the outer circle. In 10 minutes, 12 minutes actually, we're going to switch. Outer circle becomes inner.
Alicia had a question that, for the next round, the questions will restart, right? If we can ask the same questions.
For the next round, they don't restart. At the end, you can address all of them. All right? Okay, so let's start, David.
Okay. Welcome to the first round of the Socratic Seminar. Thanks.
Students can use a preset template to guide their thinking and writing depending on your purposes and strategies that you're using. Keep the template simple so that students are free to think and respond to the text and respond to their classmates' thoughts and discussions. To make authentic writing connections, after reading, writing, and discussing, students can take a position and write a persuasive essay concerning their topic. They can also research the topic further and write their own expository paper with new information. Writing takes thinking to a deeper level. It enhances students' ability to think, make connections, and achieve clarity, logic, and precision. More specifics regarding procedures and roles for Socratic seminars are on the curriculum framework found on the CTL website, as well as multiple close reading and writing protocols. Click on the links for additional resources. Thank you for giving of your time to participate in the expository video and your diligence in ensuring that your students learn. Please feel free to contact me anytime that you have questions or need additional support. Thank you so much.